Welcome back, Sweet Tooth Crunch cohorts
Oh,
and Flake Fiends. This is the fourth official episode of Cereal Saturday.
the fourth official episode ever of the only Cereal Saturday that we make.
The only
Might be
Cereal
imposters
Saturday
out
that
there.
you love.
Yep, that. If there's another one that you only listen to that you love,
Stop
scratch
loving
that. Stop loving it and change your mind to this one. Did you say cereal? What did you say? Crunch Fiends?
So I said Sweet Tooths, Crunch cohorts, and Flake Fiends.
Wow,
I don't
flake. Oh, like okay.
Like Frosted Flakes and stuff. I was
That-
trying to think of
that's- yeah.
like cereal, not puns, but I guess.
No, I like that. I feel like we should. You know how like the Jake Paul is the Jake Paulers.
Yeah.
What if we had the Cereal Saturdayers?
No.
I feel like what would our fan base name be?
I don't know. It's gotta be. It does have to be like.
The Bowlers. No, the Spooners. No.
No.
That's not neither of those probably.
We could come up with a couple options and like put a poll on it or like on Instagram or
Yes.
something and then see like have people vote and see what we want to call them.
Yeah, we'll come up with some ideas and we can let you guys decide at some point.
But I like that idea though of coming up
The
with
second idea I had, not the Bowlers, but
no,
I don't want that.
the idea in general of what our
fan base. Yeah, because
base
then
be
I feel
called.
like then we could have like a more official greeting. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
to say hello, fan base.
fan base.
That's my YouTube channel's fan base though. They're called fan base.
Oh, okay.
Because you called them that in the car with A&R, and you said what's up fan base, and so since then I liked it. so now if
They
I
are
refer
fan
to it, it's
base.
a fan base. Yeah. If anybody doesn't know, I actually have a YouTube channel. I feel like probably everybody. Well, most of the people that listen to this
If
probably do.
you're listening to the podcast, you probably are aware of his channel, but
Yeah.
you could do a quick plug though.
Yeah, little shameless plug. I have a YouTube channel, The Greatest Waffle. I haven't uploaded it in probably since last year. Wait, no.
No, you did your tutorials.
That's right. I have done a couple really helpful tutorial videos. Just some like simple ones online. So if you guys, there's at least two, just some stuff with like different Googles. One
Yeah.
with Gmail that people have had some problems with,
Mm-hmm.
and one about Google. So if you guys, those are pretty helpful. So you can go check those out. But yeah, The Greatest Waffle on YouTube. Go check it out.
He makes great videos, little skits. And
Oh.
everything. I do make some appearances in those videos.
Yep. I'll watch all the ones with Riley, and they will be way better than the ones about myself. I promise you that.
Did you upload the Denver or not the Denver?
Oh my gosh,
the Salt Lake one?
no, because every time I
Because it
try
keeps
to
rejecting
yes,
it.
every time I do it, it gets to like 20% after like 2 days, and then be like, "Oh, you abandoned it." I'm like, I didn't even do anything.
That's stupid.
So eventually, fan base, there will be a vlog that me, Riley, and our friend Anderson did, where we went to Salt Lake City, saw the 21 Pilots band, and it was very cool.
The concert,
Yeah, it was in September
of last year.
of last year. So it's quite overdue, but one of these days I'll get it uploaded. So if specifically Anderson out there, if you're listening, it will be up there. It'll be up eventually. Once I can get my internet to it.
It'll get out.
It'll get out. Yeah. So, all right, today's cereal. That was a little jingle I just came up
Thank
with.
you.
Do you like that?
I do.
Today we have OreoO's. OreoO's. They're like Cheerios, but way better and way more unhealthy.
They're made out of Oreos.
They're made out of Oreos. At least they're Oreo ingredients, I'm assuming.
I'm pretty sure they're pretty close, I feel like.
Yeah, well, they have to have some sort of similarity.
Well, yeah.
No, they're actually pretty different.
I mean, yeah. I actually don't know if it's the same.
Like just
I think it is the same stuff they would use.
I would assume so. They
I-
smell the same.
What I think of these cereals, the little O's themselves, I think they're supposed to be like a cookie itself. So the cookie and the
milk like go together.
no, not the milk, but
Oh,
like
wow.
the cookie and then the cream stuff in the middle.
It's like the glaze kind
Yeah,
of.
the glazed stuff is one of these.
Yes.
Because it's kind of white as well.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking it is. It's not just the cookie part.
No, it's it's got to be both. Because then it wouldn't. I think it'd still be good, but it's not the full
Yeah,
experience.
yeah.
Yeah. So today we got OreoO's. We're gonna start it off before we get a mouthful. We're just gonna talk about the box for a couple seconds. Some I feel like cereal boxes. Also, this is a suggestion from a specific listener.
What?
If you listen who also has a very well and renowned podcast. So shout out. OreoO's box. It's honestly not. It's kind of cool, but it's not that cool. It's literally just the Oreos. It's like the Oreo brand like logo, and then it shows the bowl, which is I feel like a pretty simple standard tactic that most cereals go for. It's just here's the cereal, what it looks like and what it's called. Which I mean, it's really the only two things you really need. But there are some I feel like cereal boxes that are cooler. I don't have any in mind. But so it's a simple, nice blue.
I really like it. I think it's really simple.
You like the box?
I do. I think it captures it perfectly. I feel like cereal boxes nowadays have a lot going on with it, you know.
So you think simple is better?
Yeah, I do. I think
Okay.
a lot of the cereal boxes nowadays are just insane or just like crazy. This one has the same font and like text of Oreo, and then they just put the O and the S at the bottom for the O's, and below it. So I think it's just like I like how simple it is. The blue is nice. I just feel like a lot of cereals nowadays have like a billion things going on.
That is true.
So I think I like it.
That is true. I guess I never really thought about that. I feel like if you get too much going on, they'd be like this. I just want the cereal. You know, you get too distracted by the box, you never eat the cereal. That's happened to me multiple times.
Yeah, I mean, and it's also fine to have like boxes with like games and stuff on the back.
Yeah.
But I feel like even the front of them, they're crazy. What a little like simple back.
Yeah, and even this. Oh, the back is so nice. It says, "Make your milk happy."
Make your milk happy.
Make your milk happy. It's the stuff breakfast dreams are made of. Chocolatey, crunchy. I hope I didn't get copyrighted for reading this. Oreos, crunchy O's with that Oreo cookie taste you love, and a rich cream coating combine.
I knew it.
To give you a bowl full of cookie milk that tastes so good, you'll finish it off with a smile. Dig into your old favorite. Okay, I feel like that last part was unnecessary. Dig into your old favorite. I feel like finish it off with a big smile. Should have stopped.
They should have stopped there. Yeah.
OreoO's box editors, if you're listening to this, take off that last part. Just finish it off with a smile and leave it there. Okay.
They have a number on the side that we can call.
Louise. Oh,
Call
we can call them on weekdays. We're calling this. Oh, it's made by Post. I feel like Post is actually a pretty good cereal brand.
They're not bad.
You know, like I don't know. I feel like you usually think about Kellogg's or Kroger.
Yeah.
But Post, you know, they got some. Oh, here's a fun fact. Here, guys, fun facts about Oreo cookies. The number of Oreo cookies made in a year would circle the earth 5 times.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my word! And all of those get consumed. These factories help produce 40 billion cookies every year.
40 billion cookies?
40 billion cookies.
Oh my gosh. Where are all those cookies going?
Inside people.
I guess so.
It says people's happy bellies.
Oh my word.
Now think of that plus the cereal. That's a lot of Oreos being made and consumed on a daily basis.
A lot of cookies and
Yearly
cream.
basis,
Oh
I
my
guess.
goodness.
Wow. And cookies and cream ice cream. Oh my gosh, dude, Oreos they are
They have their ice cream too.
They are a monopoly.
I know. They actually are. They made their own Oreo ice cream, which is just like cookies and cream ice cream.
It's just cookies and cream, which I almost feel like sometimes is not as good. Like I feel like some other brands cookies and cream is better, but
yeah,
that's off topic.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the box, it's a pretty simple box. I honestly would have to agree a little bit with Riley. Just kind of simple. I mean, I think maybe it could use like a couple, like one or two more things, but in general, pretty nice box. Well, we got the cereal here, and it smells pretty good. It smells pretty tasty. It smells like when you open up like a package of Oreos, it smells fairly similar.
Yeah.
It's got like a little difference to it.
It reminds me of a different like cereal or sorry, that sounded dumb, but then it made sense. No, it sounds
okay.
it smells like a different cereal that I've had. Like that'll smell. I can't. I don't know that. I can't remember the cereal. Maybe like Cocoa Puffs. Maybe.
I don't know. I feel like they have like a different, sweeter smell.
I would agree.
I don't know. They do have like the distinct Oreo smell though, so that's pretty nice. So it already draws you in. So also one thing me and Riley commented when we poured before, the last time we ate these, they were like Cheerio size, so fairly small.
Yeah.
They are humongous in comparison. They're not that big. But they're probably the size of like almost a nickel.
Yeah.
I mean nickel sized pieces of cereal. So I don't remember them being this big, so hopefully maybe we'll see if that adds to the experience. I don't know.
They are pretty big.
So well, let's get tasting this sucker. Okay, both of us going into this like this cereal.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to really think about how to judge this here, because I mean I like chocolate in general. So chocolate cereals, are almost always a go-to for me. And I know Riley he was drawn to this cereal.
I was the one that picked it off the shelf today.
He was the one that picked it off the shelf. That's right.
We were having a tough time of which one we wanted to do because we didn't pick one up before. So today we got it and we're like, which one do we want to do? And I was immediately drawn to it just because you don't see a lot of blue cereal boxes.
That's true, actually. I feel like there's a lot of black, brown, and red and yellow.
Yeah.
The three cereal colors: brown, red, and yellow.
So I automatically got drawn to it.
All right, let's try the sucker out. Let's try this guy out.
I don't remember them being so jagged.
Yeah, it's very, very crispy and crunchy. Which it can be good, but I feel like if you go straight into it, you might have to work a little bit harder not to hurt yourself or something.
We didn't even pour that much this time. We actually poured less than we did last time, but it's still taking us a minute to eat, at least for me.
I think it's because the pieces are so big, you can only get like 2 or 3 per spoonful.
Yeah, I'm using a kind of a smaller plastic spoon.
Okay. Well, I just finished mine. It was pretty good. I like this. I haven't had these in quite a while, so this was a good refresher. I will say I've already said this. They're very crispy, and it's thankfully it's not in a way that you try to bite it and has no give. Like you crunch it and it will it'll give. So that's the one that's nice. But I'll get to that in a second. Overall taste though, it's not as powerful as I remember it to be, but it's kind of nice because I feel like they're not quite as sweet as Oreos themselves are, which I kind of like because it's not too empowering. So for that, I like that. So I'd probably give it like an 8, probably honestly like 8.5.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. I there's like some hints of of eating Oreo cookie dipped in milk in there, which was really nice. And I really enjoyed it, but I don't know. Something about it, it's got at least mine had a weird corn flavor afterwards.
Oh, really?
I didn't really like it. No, like it wasn't even aftertaste. It was like halfway through chewing, it was a kind of a weird corny taste.
It is a corn cereal, looks like.
And I was not the biggest fan of it.
Huh.
Well, so I think the issue is because it's a corn cereal, but the cookies are not corn.
So there's some sort of battle going on.
Yeah, it's a weird it's supposed to taste like Cheerios, or not Cheerios, Oreos, but they're not Oreos.
Yeah, there's that mind game. Like if it was just cookies and cream cereal, they'd be like, oh, good. But since the Oreos, there's almost a point that's I could see that. They're supposed to taste like Oreos, but they don't.
Yeah.
For me, I like it that it's slightly different.
Yeah.
Because if I just had a bowl of Oreos and milk, I wouldn't. Ugh,
that'd be a little much.
I'd feel like I was gonna die. Yeah. So what would you say? What would you rate?
Probably a 7. I still liked it though. I liked it, but it's just that weird little corny flavor just kind of put me down.
Interesting. That's funny because you were drawn to it for us to buy it, and my rating's higher of it.
I know.
Interesting.
I don't know. It was just something was a little weird about this one. I don't know.
Have you tasted it before? Or just this in this?
I think
review?
It was just maybe this one, but I don't know. I haven't had these in a while either. So
yeah, interesting. Maybe your palate's changing and growing. Maybe your palate's getting bigger.
I don't know.
I hope not. Like a medical condition. My palate's getting bigger. I can't speak anymore. I don't know what I was going for. So taste 7 for Riley, 8.5 for me. The structure ability, I kind of ate mine fairly quickly. But from what I could tell, it was fairly crispy and crunchy, which I think was pretty nice. At first, when you first go in, it's a little too crazy. So you might have to let it sit for a couple seconds to let it
we literally did just pour it and then started eating a couple seconds afterwards. So it was pretty new. But Yeah, maybe let them simmer for a little bit.
Yeah, but not for too long because I don't know how long they will last.
Yeah.
But it seems like if they, I feel like there's some cereals where they're like that, it's where they're super hard and they stay like that for a long time. But there's also some I feel like they're super hard at first, and you let it sit for like a minute, and it's just boom, instant obliteration. It's just like falling apart. It's like sand.
We should do. I think with our cereals, we should like pour the milk, kind of like mix it up a little bit, stir a little bit, and then leave it for like 10 to 15 seconds.
Oh, that first I thought you were gonna say
10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, yuck! Come back and it's just a wet bowl of soup.
Yeah.
No, that's what I was thinking about.
Because then all the cereals, the ratings can be the same because we leave them in for that same amount of time.
Yeah.
But I don't know, just an idea.
Well, because that's what that is a good idea. Because last time I remember I left a spoonful for a few seconds, and I was gonna do that again, but I wanted to go for it.
Yeah.
So the next time, guys, we will do that so we can actually get a better
a grasp on how long it's in the milk. I feel like 15 seconds is pretty reasonable time for it being in there.
Yeah.
If it's pretty like soggy in 15 seconds, you know that thing doesn't hold up. And if it's like pretty crunchy and hard in 15 seconds, you're like, okay, well, thing is pretty.
Yeah, this thing's
got tough, thick skin.
It's got tough, thick skin. Because I feel like cereal, what's like a normal amount of cereal eating time? For me, it's like
5 minutes.
For me, it's only like 2 minutes. Like I eat it pretty quickly, you know. Maybe like
it depends on the bowl. It depends how much you get.
Well, it depends on how much you get, and it depends on what cereal you get too.
Sorry, I got allergies.
You can't escape from the sound.
I'm sorry.
Riley's dying from allergies. It's okay.
Yeah.
But no, because I feel like some people. Oh my gosh, my sister. I'm not gonna say your name.
You mentioned this before.
Oh my gosh, I know you're listening to this, and I still think it's gross that you do this, but I love you nonetheless. She would leave the cereal like purposely. She would pour it, milk it up, and then leave, and then come back, and like I think she liked it like that, like all soggy. Like that's disgusting.
That's nasty.
You can't be doing that. You know, you can't be legally doing that. You know, like it would just be on the counter. I would come back and be like, "That's disgusting." Like, oh man, I don't know how she did that, and I hope you are not still doing that. Okay, if you're doing that still, please just eat it while it's crunchy. It's so much better.
Yeah.
Maybe she did that one time on accident and doesn't know anything else, and so maybe once else she tried to be like, "My eyes are open." She'll sound like that too. She'll sound like an old wizard.
How did we get on this topic?
I don't know.
I think we were on holdability, and now we are like talking about.
Well, it's the same. It's the same idea.
I
guess
so.
Okay,
so what's your holdability?
I would probably say. I'd probably say like 6.5 because I mean it's a little hard at first, but it was a pretty decent like crunch. And since what?
I almost died. Sorry.
I guess he's trying to sneeze into the microphone. That'd be disgusting.
I was coughing, but like it was not.
Right.
I was also yawning at the same time.
Uh-oh. Someone took a screenshot. Yeah, so I'd say 6.5 because it's fairly good and crunchy. But I wouldn't. I feel like I don't want to go too much higher or lower since I didn't leave it in there long enough. So I'll say 6.5.
I have the same thing. I'm the same thing with you. Yeah, 6.5.
Yeah.
Same reasons as well. We didn't leave it in for too long, so.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fine. It was crispy and crunchy.
Yeah, it was nice. Milk flavor. I feel like this is another reason if you left it in a little bit longer, you'd get a better milk flavor. But
we were just excited.
We were just so excited to eat this cereal, guys. But what I tasted, it was pretty good. I mean, I can right now taste a little bit of that slightly off corn taste that you were talking about. It's not terrible, but it's not. I mean, there's at least some chocolate there aftertaste too, so it's not like just straight up corn. But the milk taste, from what I got, it seemed pretty good. Like if I left it in there, I'd probably get a better rating. But from what I got now, I'd probably only say like 6 because it had a little bit of the sweetness, but it wasn't that much. You know,
I give it like a 5. Pretty similar. It wasn't like great, but like it wasn't terrible either. It was a little bit of sweetness. It's kind of like it was like you're dipping like your Oreos into milk and stuff, and it's kind of like drinking the milk afterwards, but not as good, I'd say. So yeah, so I'd say like a 5, just like kind of middle of the road, nothing special about it, I guess.
Because I feel like when you eat Oreos and you have them with milk, they it's not like you drink the milk and you're like, oh, it's milk, you know. Which I mean sometimes it's nice, but for this sake, I think I think I'd have to leave it in longer to get a better taste to see what it's really like.
Yeah, we may have to revisit the cereal in the future.
Yeah, or like we can just do like a little Instagram revisit.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think we might have to do that. So when this comes out, go check out our Instagram story, and either a story or a post, and we'll revisit it and get a better milk review.
Yeah.
Okay, so all in all, we had higher hopes, and it did not quite perform as well.
It wasn't bad or
No.
underwhelming, but it also wasn't it didn't meet our expectations.
No, and excuse me, I do like the cereal a lot still.
Yeah, it's
like
really
it's
good.
definitely on my higher higher up on my list of cereals that I like. But it definitely had some shortcomings, that's for sure. So
OreoO's, you didn't disappoint us, but didn't meet expectations either.
And editors, remember, change that little thing in the back.
Yeah, just remove that one sentence. It's just so weird.
Yep. So speaking of OreoO's, Jedi Survivor just recently came out.
Yeah, those are related.
Jedi Survivor came out exactly a week ago tomorrow.
Yeah, it came out last Friday.
Thursday.
Sorry,
last Thursday. So if you're a Star Wars fan, if you're not, I apologize. We'll make this quick. But if you are and you're already playing it or you want to play it,
very fun.
It's pretty fun so far. I've just finished the first planet. I'm not gonna give any spoilers. And I don't
finished the first planet.
Yeah, remember this the other day.
Wait,
I finished Coruscant.
I thought you finished the planet.
Oh no. Oh no.
Okay. Like dang.
No. So anybody that played the first one, it's basically like leaving off the second one, but with a little bit of time in between. Yeah. So that's kind of nice. So it's not like you're relearning a game. It's just kind of a continuation. There's none of the I forgot how to. I don't remember.
I don't remember how to do my double jump or whatever. Like you keep basically some of the most of the same moves.
Yeah, most of pretty much all of your basic moves are there, and then some of the like skills and abilities you learn from the first one kind of slowly come back to you in the first like mission. Yeah. So it's pretty nice. It's not like redo all the stuff. But first impressions, I like it so far. It's definitely not as groundbreaking as when you play the first one. Yeah. But because it's like a lot of the same stuff. But there's I can tell that there's gonna be some new things they're adding that I think is gonna be cool. Yeah. That once I get to it, it's gonna be really fun.
Yeah. There's gonna be some. I know just for a fact there's gonna be some good stuff that's gonna be in there. Yeah. I don't know what to say about the story so far, just because I'm not that far in. Yeah. But with the first part, it was interesting because you're not with the crew you were with in the first game. You're with a different crew, and that story is kind of interesting. Except for, it's kind of interesting. It's not bad, but except for that boss fight though at the end, and you learn that different stance. That was pretty cool.
That's pretty epic. Yeah,
that was pretty cool. There's some interesting stuff in there. Yeah.
I have some thoughts that I will save because I think we should do an episode further on Star Wars and this stuff in general, because I have a thought that is gonna get off topic from what we're actually talking about today, so I'm gonna hold it. But if you're interested, it's a pretty good game so far. If you have EA Play / Game Pass on Xbox, you get it for $8 off. This is not sponsored, by the way. That's just a tip.
I think I know what our next episode's gonna be. Huh? So May the 4th is tomorrow.
Wait,
I know. So
it's gonna come out like 2 weeks after.
I know.
It's gonna be in the same month.
Yeah, I'm just saying we could do a Star Wars episode. I think that'd be kind of interesting.
I think that would be cool.
I don't know. I think that would be cereal we would eat, but
Star Wars cereal.
But no, we could talk about Star Wars for a while. We both like Star Wars a lot. So.
I also see. I'm trying to think like how terrible would it be if we changed 2 stars today?
Today?
It wouldn't. I don't have anything prepared.
No, because we have a different topic. I don't know. It's up to you. Because we could change, but we would just be talking about the game, but we're not even that far in the game.
Yeah, so we'll hold off.
I think we should. I think we should keep with the original topic.
Okay, so so if you guys are interested, go try the game out.
We'll say though, if you haven't played the first game and you're interested in playing the new one, play the first game first.
Yeah, you'll kind of get a better idea.
You'll get a better grasp of it, and you you'd be missing out if you don't play the first one.
Yeah, the first one is just it's first really one good. Is so good.
It's really good.
So good.
Yeah. So I just recommend playing the first and then the second one.
Yep. So, well, on to what we wanted to actually talk about today. It goes very close to what we were just talking about. No, I'm just kidding.
No, not really.
No, we wanted Riley and I. We're kind of unique. We like music.
We're different from people. We like music.
Yeah, we actually like listening to it and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Not much people like doing that.
No, there's a spider on this window. I've been watching it crawl around for a while, and I don't like. It's on the It's on the outside. Spider.
It's a jumping spider.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The jumping spiders are like the little, like, kind of fatter ones. And
I don't like it.
I like jumping spiders.
Those
are the only spiders I like.
I don't like it
because they kill flies and stuff.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't like orb weavers though. Or wolf spiders.
Grounded fight music.
Yeah.
No. Anyways, we wanted to we wanted to share for your listening pleasure, and if you're out of curiosity, some our top 5 favorite albums, at least kind of like of all time / right now.
Yeah.
Kind of like in between both. These. And both of us, I think, could agree that it was so difficult. So we could not put it into like in order. So when we go through these, this isn't like this is my number 1 favorite, my second favorite. These are just top 5 in no particular order because they're all so different but so good. So we're gonna go into that. If you never listened to any of these, hopefully you will go check them out because I know that they're all gonna be pretty good. At least all the ones I like are really good. I know that.
Yes.
And if you heard then you can maybe share your thoughts with what you think about our
music
takes.
Tastes. Yeah.
Our takes. So, well, Riley, you want to start off? You want to do your first one?
Are you?
You don't have to do it in any specific order.
Are we wanting to do like just alternate?
Yeah, I was gonna say we could alternate. So since we're not going,
just do one, talk about it, and then you go to your. Okay. I guess I'll just do my first one. So yeah, no in specific order. Just because it's kind of hard to put all these in order because different types of music, different artists.
They hit you different.
Yeah,
different ways.
It just like they're all on the same level for me. Maybe some a little higher than others, but it just also depends on the mood as well. So
yeah.
So okay. So for my first one, this one's really underground. It's Nevermind by Nirvana. No.
Who is that?
Nirvana?
I was just kidding.
No, really underground. No.
As you are.
For people who kind of know Nirvana's pretty popular.
Look, Mom, it's your favorite Nirvana. I'm not actually saying Mom. My mom. I'm talking. It's just a video quoted. I know she's gonna listen to
Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley. Yeah.
Sorry guys. So but that was a off topic. All right, but no. So my first album, Nevermind by Nirvana. That's the one with the baby in the pool. They're one of their most popular albums. I feel like, other than maybe
at least the album cover.
The album cover, yeah. I don't know what their other, because that one was pretty popular. Then the one with, I can't say the name. It's like in Utro or Euro. I don't know how to pronounce it.
I'm not sure.
But it's the one with the lady on it with the wings and she's like,
oh yeah, that one
kind of see through it. That one's kind of scary. And then there's Bleach, which is their first one. But sorry, getting a little off topic. But yes, so Nevermind by Nirvana. That's my that's one of my top 5. Kind of just because there's a lot of different aspects to it. For me, one, it's kind of nostalgic because my dad would listen to them a little bit when he was younger. So then I would hear them when I was a kid. And I've known these songs through, playing a lot of Rock Band when I was a kid, and they had a bunch of Nirvana songs in Rock Band, and then I've always liked the Nirvana songs. I liked a lot of the just like very popular ones like Come As You Are and like Smells Like Teen Spirit, and then for some reason like about 2 years ago, I was just like, man, this music's so good, and I just started like. Looking at literally, I had a musical awakening. I started looking through all the I looked through a bunch of grunge, all 90s rock, all the type of rock, like any types of rock, like alternative rock, like hard rock, soft rock, mostly grunge and stuff. In the 90s, I just like started listening to a bunch of it. I'm like, man, this is so good. And then I just like it expanded my music taste beyond just like 2 other artists, which I will mention that I still like. I really do, but. It expanded upon just I like this song too. I like this whole genre now, you know.
Yeah.
So, But yeah, so Nevermind by Nirvana is one of my
Okay.
one of my top picks. I love them.
That is kind of interesting. I feel like everybody does that at some point, especially, I mean, because I feel like music is different for different people. So some people like music, but it doesn't go beyond that.
Yeah.
But like for me, I mean, I've liked music since I was a kid in different ways. I mean, I've been playing instruments for a while, so that just gives you like a different connection to music in some ways. But then also, I feel like everybody that listens to music more than just like a pastime or like in your car type of thing, then I feel like you always you have some sort of at least one, but probably multiple phases where like you either discover new music or it's like boom, you go through this like, because that was me like a year and a half, 2 years ago, but for indie music. Like I love, that's one of my favorite genres ever, is like indie. And not like, I'm not one of those guys that's like, I listen to indie music, you've never heard of this band. I listen to a lot of popular indie bands, you know. But I feel like that is kind of funny, 'cause like you think there's like a couple, like you'll find a couple songs and then you just get immersed into the genre, like whoa, that's pretty good. Yeah. So, my first favorite album is Therapy Session by NF.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Right. Reason why Therapy Session, it's the second album he released technically. He has other ones. I'm not gonna go into the deep NF like backstory. But it's his first one. The first one was Mansion. The second one is Therapy Session. Some of it I like it is because since it was the second one he released, it was really when I was like, I got into him from the first album because my dad found him, introduced me to him, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. I had already kind of liked rap / hip hop at a younger age, but it was a lot of like Lecrae, some Andy Mineo. So a lot of like fairly well-known Christian rappers. But then we found NF, like, oh my gosh, this guy is so amazing. And so at Mansion, I started to really get into him and really started like broadening. That was my first, the broadening. That sounds like the reaping from Hunger Games or something. The broadening of my music taste, I guess, because I really got into like rap and hip hop because of NF. And it was a lot of time around this time is when Therapy Session came out, because he was the second album. So I was really starting to get into him at that point. And so that I had just have like connection because that really really got me into NF.
Yeah.
It's a very like raw and real music. I know, but it's a very heavy album, which there's a lot of songs, like I look through that song list, I guess the track list, and they're just all so good. Like it's like very emotional, but I just, for some reason, I just like those songs so much. I love all of NF's albums. But I could do top 5 all of his albums. Yeah. So I just love Therapy Session. Real, his song on that album was one of the first songs of his that I ever actually memorized and could like rap. Oh, so nice. I thought that was cool for the longest time, even though it's not that cool.
That's cool.
But it's just kind of I don't know, it's just a very, very cool album. And
nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool. So
yeah. I got my times wrong with sorry, it's a little off topic, but back to Nirvana. So I don't know if I mentioned the order of the albums, but it was Bleach first, Nevermind second, because Bleach was in 89.
Lithium.
Nevermind was 91. Incesticide was 92, which
a pesticide, you said?
Yeah, yeah. That one has Aneurysm from, which I like that one a lot, that song. And then after that one in 93 is in, I don't know how to pronounce it. Utero? I don't know. It's Utero. I don't know how to pronounce it. If somebody does, please reprimand me about it.
You can tell that it's like a grunge rock band when they have song names called Aneurysm.
Yep. Or Very Ape. I love Very Ape. But yeah, it is very grungy. Look at the album art of Incesticide is insane.
I don't even know what I'm looking at.
I don't even know.
It's really scary.
It is scary, but yeah. I love the album art for Bleach. It's just them, but like it's a negative, like a negative picture, so it looks really sick.
Wow.
So the colors are different, but
like they were bleached.
Yeah. Whoa.
Oh, a deeper meaning.
But yeah, so that's so it's their second album ever made. But
okay.
So then I guess I'll go into my next one.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, no, I was kidding.
What?
Gotcha.
All right.
Gotcha.
So I'm actually. Hold on, I'm gonna look this up because I want to get. Stop it right now. All right. So my next one, and remember these are in order. is Morning View by Incubus. This is a newfound
incomplete.
This is a recently found album that I have fallen in love with because one of my favorite songs of all time is on that album, and I love basically the entire album. So for those who do not know, Incubus is they're like Nirvana. They're a 90s rock band. They were a little bit in the 90s and then kind of moved into early 2000s. So they're probably maybe closer to Coldplay. Not sounding wise, but like time wise. Well, they're basically the post grunge essentially. It's after it's like during Foo Fighters and all that. So after Nirvana, that's kind of when Incubus is when they were doing their stuff. So yeah, so they are a hard rock band, and I've one of their most famous songs is called Drive. You've probably heard of it. It's got the acoustic guitar, but they have a 2001 album which is called Morning View, which is one of my favorites, and it's an absolute banger of an episode, or not episode.
Episode.
It's an absolute banger of an album. They have so many good songs on here.
If you've listened, or if you've not, well, listen as well. But if you've seen, Surf's Up, then you have heard one of their songs. 'Cause it's the song that's like,
I don't know if you can play it.
Whatever tomorrow. It sounds exactly like that.
Whatever tomorrow.
No, but it's on Surf's Up. So if you hear that song next time you watch Surf's Up, you're like Incubus.
Yeah. So
and you think about Riley.
Oh, yeah. Also, quick side note with this. With this album, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. So they're a hard rock band, but with this album, it's more soft rock. There are some hard rock songs in the album, but majority of it is a little more soft rock, or alt rock. It's a little more mellower than that hard rock that they normally do. So, yeah, I get that's my second one of my second top picks is Morning View. More of a recent pick. Came out in 2001. And if you want a song to listen on there, I got two for you. Echo.
Echo.
That's one of my favorite songs, like ever. And Aqueous Transmission.
Oh my gosh, that song! It's if you want
it's a sick song.
It just be put into full peace Zen mode.
Quite literally. Yeah, listen to that one. It is like 7 minutes long, but it's a 7 minutes long worth.
And it's got a 30 to 40 second and frog solo.
Yeah.
Frog noises.
So
it's
I would recommend Echo and Aqueous Transmissions off that album. But the whole album is a banger, so listen to every single song off of it.
Or else Riley will find you.
Or else I'll find you.
Okay, what? I'm gonna jump one. I know it.
Just do whatever you need to do.
I'm explaining stuff that doesn't need to be said. Okay, my next one is Love and War and the Scene Between by Josh Garrels.
Oh.
This is one of my favorite albums ever, because it's so good.
Whoa.
Oh, interesting. Now, Josh Garrels is another artist that I've found more recently. It's only been in like the past few years. My friend and Pastor Graham, shout out Graham, showed me him, and at first I was like, "Oh yeah, this is kind of cool." But Josh Garrels is what really got me started to getting more indie music, because he himself like isn't necessarily an indie artist, but he has more of that like sound to it.
Yeah.
So that really what got me into it. So at first I was like, okay, this is not bad, but then I listened to Love and War and the Scene Between. That was the first album of his that I listened to, and I remember I was helping some friends clean their gym at that point, so I was just vacuuming stuff. So I put it on over the speakers, and I was just listening to it. I was like, this is amazing. So it was really the first album that got me into him, and so ever since then, he's one of my favorite artists like ever. Like I can listen to any song of his at any time, and I just love it. So some of that is just, it got me into him. There's just so many good songs on that album. I mean, some of my favorite songs that he made are on that album. It's a longer album, so that kind of makes sense why. But like some of my favorite ones, like Ulysses on that album is so good. Pilot Me is one of my favorite songs he has ever. I just love that. Bread and Wine. Literally, this whole album is just it's so good.
Just bangers.
It's very good. I mean, it's just so like he's a Christian artist, but it's not You know, I feel like a lot of people hear like Christian artists like, oh, you know, but
Yeah.
he's just so like talented and very unique with his sound. I mean, some of his songs are just like beautiful instrumentals. He's got others where he's rapping like over fiddles. I mean, he does it all. But it's so cool. And so yeah, if you listen to the album ever, check out any of the songs.
Yes.
But I love Pilot Me, Bread and Wine, Beyond the Blue. I'm just gonna listen off all the songs and listen to those. No, I was kidding. No, it's just such a good good like deep and like really gospel centered album, and I love it. So that's my second pick.
Yeah. He's not like normal worship. It's pretty much indie, and it's good though. Like it's very like not folksy, but like
it's
similar
got
to Stomp and Holler
and folk and roots, but he also like can like somewhat rap.
Yeah, which is sick.
But there's just some like seriously insanely like beautiful songs that he has. So go check that one out.
Yeah. All right. So for my next top
okay.
For my next one is Parachutes by Coldplay.
Oh,
such a banger of an album. I'm gonna say banger a lot, but I love
Sparks is playing in my head right now.
I know. That and Don't Panic play in my head whenever I think of it.
Bones sinking like stones.
Okay.
I forgot the words for a second.
So you guys have probably heard of Coldplay.
Wait, who's that?
Oh my goodness.
It was all yellow.
Look
at the stars.
So whenever you're done. Okay. But they're a very popular band, and this is their first technically album. It has a lot of their like solo releases, I guess. They released a couple of just songs by themselves, and I don't really sure how it worked, but they put them all into an album, and the whole album's great. So
it's very good.
It's very nostalgic for me because there's a lot of nostalgic songs in there. It's a very like I guess tender and very like quiet and just like peaceful album.
Yeah, it's very soft.
And it's just very like there's some sad songs in there, like Sparks, for example. Sparks is probably, I think, they're one of their best songs like ever. It's so good.
It's also got Yellow on it, which is one of the most popular songs.
Yellow is also a good song too. So they're kind of rock, kind of pop. That's kind of what you guys probably know what Coldplay is. So but it's their first album. It came out in 2000. It's one of their best albums. Like
this was almost in my top 5 too.
Yeah. I had to put it. Like I can't not put Coldplay, you know.
Yeah.
So that actually they came out a year before that Incubus album I was talking about. So they're pretty close to each other. But yeah, I love it's just one, it's nostalgic, two, great songs, great vibe, you know.
I feel like the art, I don't know what it is.
It's earth.
Oh, it is? That's what I thought. But it's funny because it's like it's orange. Like they made it orange.
It looks like it's a globe, I'm pretty sure.
But it's funny because their album, it almost feels like that. It feels like orange.
Yeah,
and
it
warm,
does. It does.
You know?
It feels like kind of feels like a dream.
It's kind of got like this. It's like a somber.
Yeah. Like if you listen to Don't Panic, it kind of feels like you're kind of like sleeping. You're kind of like in and out of like consciousness of sleeping, and it's like raining, and the street light is like shining through your window. Yeah. So it's like kind of got that orangey like feel with the rain, yeah, and it's just like kind of like that weird glow.
This is very
but
comfortable.
It's really nice and comfortable.
Yeah.
So it's just a very comfortable.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just so good. So
I knew that you're probably gonna put that on yours, so I figured I didn't have to put that on mine.
Yeah, because you were gonna say it. I don't know if you were gonna put it on yours or not. So I'm like, I'll just do it.
Yeah. That's a good, very good pick. Yeah.
Well, what's your next one?
My next one, which I don't know if this is gonna be your next one or not. I feel like it maybe, but I don't know.
What is it?
My next favorite album, top 5, is Night Vision's Deluxe, the Deluxe, of by Imagine Dragons.
So, sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
that one's not on my top, but it's in my honorable mentions.
Oh wow, okay. No, this is one of my favorite albums ever because some of it is like pure nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is one of the first, not first. This is just like some of the different like like there was some like Christian music that I listened to growing up that I still like, but this was some of the first music I guess that I heard that was different, and so it was and it was like it was good like clean music,
Yeah.
and it was just epic. I mean, when we were kids, Radioactive was literally the coolest song. Radioactive.
It was so cool. It's funny. I know the words still to it, even though it's like I don't really like the song that much anymore. But like the other day, they were playing it in the kitchen at work, and I was just like, I was singing the whole song.
Yeah.
Like I knew I knew all the words because it's just such a good song.
Yeah. We've definitely listened to it a lot.
That's not. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
No, that's
you
okay.
You go.
No, that's okay.
I will say that's not one of the better tracks on that album.
No. There's much.
I mean, you can listen to it. I'd say it's just kind of an inside joke / nostalgic thing between me and Aiden. But they like most, if not all, the songs on there, other than maybe Radioactive, are really good. Radioactive is a little weird. I don't know why they made it, but but all the other songs are so good.
It is very epic, though.
I would recommend.
So from those reasons, so there's a lot of like nostalgia, like Radioactive, On Top of the World,
Tiptoe. I love Tiptoe.
Oh my gosh.
Tiptoe
Take some. I can't. But like On Top of the World and Radioactive, some of the most nostalgic ones for me, because Radioactive we listen to a lot. On Top of the World, I listen to a lot with my cousins. Shout out Keegan. Shout out Chloe. And so we would sing that one. So that one's got some like nostalgic memories to it.
More recently, Celine has been good. Like
oh my gosh.
We started listening to that one a little more recently.
Yeah, well, no, like that's what, like all the songs are just so good.
Yeah.
And it just reminds me of like those happy times when I was a kid and didn't like have a lot of worries, you know. And even though I didn't listen to all the songs when I was younger, because there's something about it that when I listen to it, it takes me back to that time, even though I didn't listen to those specific songs, because they were like on the same album. They have a lot of the same feel.
They're very. I think other than Radioactive, they are all the same sounding. I'd say. They all sound very similar. They're like echoes of each other, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So you can listen to one, and you're like, wow, that sounds like that. That brings you back to the time of listening to a song during that time that you may have not listened to that song before.
Yeah, and I feel like this too, like. I feel like something I find very interesting, kind of like we're just talking about the Colby album, is the album cover and how that relates to the album.
Yeah.
Like how I feel like if an album sounds like the way the album cover looks, they did a good job.
Yeah.
Like I feel like, I mean, and I feel like you could use it differently. Like you could use that in ways, but I like when the album cover reflects how it feels.
Yeah.
Because then there's I don't know. I think that's cool. And this is the same way because it's kind of like a darker gray, cloudy.
I really like the album.
It's a very cool. I don't know what's going on.
It's like a boy. If you don't know what the album cover is, it's like a boy walking up on these stairs, and it's like, well, can I see it real quick? Hold on.
Yeah, it's like it's not even.
Well, not stairs. No,
it's
like
more like this rock.
It's like
pillars.
What are those pentagons? Yeah, they're like rock pentagons, pillars that are
they
going.
Have 5
up.
sides.
Yeah, so that's a pentagon. Yeah. That are going up, and there's just a boy with the back turned to you, looking out into like the clouds, which I didn't mention. The album art on the other ones, except for the Nirvana one and the Coldplay one, but
that's okay. I didn't mention either of mine.
Okay. Well, I might go back to the Morning View one and just mention it because I like the album art a lot. But but you finish what you're gonna say about yours.
That's okay.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I get excited about music.
I'm not mad. No. So yeah, it brings me back to like those kind of some of those childhood memories, just like driving in the car, like with you and your mom, just like doing something. But it was just always such a good time. We're always like, put on Imagine Dragons Pandora radio, and then you'd play everything but Imagine Dragons.
Yeah, we only had Pandora.
What the heck? But now we live the good life with Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify Premium.
And so that's why, so many songs, almost every one of these songs, except Nothing Left to Say and Round and Round in America, every other song on this I love. Like they're all so good. Very nostalgic, but also I don't know. I love that album.
Album.
The deluxe, because the deluxe has Celine, at least Celine, and maybe and The River as well. The River is a very good song.
Yeah.
So
very good one.
that's what I.
All right.
Number 4.
Okay.
That was my number. No, that was only number 3. Number 3 pick.
Now we're on number 4.
Not number 3, but
yeah, it's just number 3.
General,
yeah. All right. Well, so on my next one, but quick thing back to Morning View. I wanted to talk about the album art real quick. So the morning view, the album art is a picture of a coast in the morning. Like, so it's like really nice and blue and misty and stuff. And it's a coast. I think it's actually a picture in Mexico. I want to say that I think they were like in a Mexican hotel,
Avocados for Mexico.
and they just took a picture of the coast while they were down there, the band. But I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm pretty sure it's because they have a song in that album.
Incubus, if you can just
called
if you could just text us or email
Just
us,
let us know.
That'd
Yeah.
be awesome.
But
Come on the podcast.
but it's a very cool album art. It's very blue and nice. And just
Yeah.
But okay, so my next pick is this one might be a little crazy. No, it's Trench by 21 Pilots.
Okay.
Oh my
Looks like
goodness.
you copied me.
Oh boy. Is Trench yours next one?
Well, one of them.
It's one of them. Okay.
So I'll just piggyback.
Okay, that's fine. We can talk about it at the same time. All right.
So my thoughts. Just kidding.
Pull your finger.
No, I can't. I'm too far away.
Oh dang it. But so Trench is that's my favorite 21 Pilots album in general, even though other people who like 21 Pilots would probably say there's better albums, and I would agree there are some other good ones, like Blur Your Face is really good, and then Self-Titled's a good one, Vessel's good. But I don't my relationship with Trench is just different, you know.
Yeah.
Just because one, it's all these are nostalgic, you know. But like it's partially nostalgic because that's when we first actually got Spotify. Was that album came out as when we first got Spotify, so like in 2018, and then I started listening to a lot more music. But I just love Trench because my favorite song on there for a while is on there. Hype, it's a good one. I still like it. It's not my favorite song anymore, but I still like it. But it's a very like not grungy, but like more of a darker feel of 21 Pilots, you know. And it doesn't have a very similar sound to like a lot of their earlier stuff, which was
it's very different.
Yeah, which I don't explain their earlier stuff. Like their earlier stuff has a specific sound where it sounds like younger, you know, like it would cater to like younger people in a way, like younger audiences. But this one feels older and a little more mature, and it feels I don't know. It feels mature. There's depth to it. The story behind it of Dima and Tyler and Blur Your Face is very interesting, and with the bishops and stuff. So there is a story with 21 Pilots. Like, there's lore.
Yep.
So if
lore.
You look it up. It's pretty cool because in the songs, Tyler will sing about parts and like things, and you're like, oh, what is he talking about? But if you know the lore, you're like, oh, that's super cool.
Yep.
So very cool. So the lore behind it's very cool. So it's a very solid album. It came out in 2018.
Yeah, that was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I was just about. I'm not gonna reveal my age. I was younger than I was.
Yes, yeah. It's also got a very cool design too. It's gonna kind of go on to the album art, but the album art is a vulture, and it's very black in the black yellow and like an army green color scheme of the album. But it says Trench. It says Trench on it and stuff. But that vulture is super sick, and there's like a lot of different glyphs and symbols and stuff from other albums and previous albums and albums after that and stuff. So, like I think you can even see the not the trident. I think the trident or whatever from Scaled and Icy is on there.
Yep.
Which I think is kind of cool, even before Scaled and Icy came out. So, very cool album art though.
Yeah.
Trench has a very cool album art. So, I would recommend anybody to go. I
would recommend anybody.
I recommend anybody to listen to it. It's really good. It's really good. It's got its own sound to it though, so I don't know if it'll be for everybody, but yeah. I feel like most people would like it.
Yeah. Tagging off of that because that's also one of my top 5.
Yeah.
It is like you said, it's like the pinnacle so far of the story. That's been like the coolest part. Scaled and Icy had some cool stuff that kind of tag along, but like up until them, like this was like, oh my gosh, there's something going down.
This was it.
They really like Tyler Joseph was really creating this world and this story, which is super cool. That he's done like with just like the music from the beginning, because I mean his whole thing was to create music to play shows on, but it's never just been like music that sounds cool. It's always been like deeper than that. So it's
music
really cool.
to like relay a message.
But then also with that, having like this whole story behind it is so cool. So that I thought was that was good. Also the fact that it was 5 years ago. They came out in the summer. I remember that.
Yeah.
So listen to that.
I actually looked at the date it came out. It came out in October.
It did?
But they the first pre-releases of some of the songs
that came out in the summer.
Those came out in the
That's
summer.
Right. I was gonna say I remember listening to like a song or two in the summer. That's what it was. Okay, yeah.
It was. I don't know what songs it was though.
Well, either way, it kind of like that's all connected since they were on the albums.
Jumpsuit and Levitate.
Which those were like I remember when they came out because that was what because Trench came out in 2018 and Blurry, so it was 3 years. So that was like their hiatus when they made Blurry Face, and then were gone for like 3 years and came back and made Trench. So when it dropped, there was so much hype around it, and so it was like, oh, there was it was just a lot of that sound. I don't know what that sound was.
Hype.
Yep, that's what hype sounds like.
Well, just listen to one of the songs on the album. We don't believe the hype. Okay, never mind.
I was gonna try to make a joke like that, but I said it not to. I was just gonna.
You was looking at me. It was really scary.
No, but so like some of that around it was just kind of like nostalgic, being warm, come out of the summer, but also the fact that like I remember when Blurry or Stressed Out came out, I was like, okay, yeah, this is kind of cool. I didn't really listen to Twin Pots at the time, and so I was like, yeah, it just kind of sounded like. At first, I liked the song. But it just seemed like one of those popular songs, so like, okay, whatever. But then I started listening to more music. I was like, more of their music. I was like, oh, wow, I actually really like this.
Yeah.
And then so from then I got into them, but then they didn't release anything for a few years. I was like, oh, what's going on? And then they released it, and I was like, yes. So that was pretty epic. But it's funny. I was looking through a lot of my playlists. I don't listen to a lot of my playlists anymore. But if you go through them, like I was trying to figure out which some of my songs had the most from one specific album, and a lot of them I'll just scroll. I feel like see like almost all of Trench on there. Yeah. You know, and so that's one I have I have the whole thing downloaded, and I just have them dispersed in almost all my playlists.
Yeah.
So there's just so many different songs in so many different feels, and it's just so cool. I mean, My Blood is probably the most popular from the album, but every song in it is just it's so good. I mean, Nico and the Niners is just one of those, like, because that's came out early, so it's got like some connection.
Yeah, very cool song.
Leave the City is such like a sad, somber song, but I love songs like that in general. So that is like it's just a perfect way to close the album.
Morph I think is probably their best.
Morph is
I think it's the best song on that album personally.
That Chlorine is really good. Chlorine is also I don't remember how many of the songs. I don't know if it's all of them, but I'll say a couple of them. But at least Chlorine and Levitate was produced by Paul Meany from Mute Math, and I love his like how he produces because he's just got such a cool sound. So those I love for that too. But yeah, Trench is just such a cool album. Like I love Vessel and Blurry Face too, but like Trench I like literally every song. I mean the other ones I do too, but more so.
Yeah, there's every song on Trench is pretty good.
Yeah. So what's your last number 5?
Okay. That would be Smoke and Mirrors by Imagine Dragons.
Oh.
That is, I think, one of their best albums.
So we're flipped.
I know, because you like Night Visions.
Smoke and Mirrors is in my honorable mentions.
No, yeah. I really like Smoke and Mirrors. Probably the deluxe edition for that, because they have the deluxe version because they have more stuff on it. But my favorite Imagine Dragons song is off of Smoke and Mirrors. It Comes Back to You, which is killer.
That is such a good song.
Killer song.
It comes back to you.
So it's very like it's very indie rock. It's a very indie rock album, I would say, or kind of alt rock, kind of alt/indie rock album. But it's a very cool album. A lot of bangers on there. A lot of bangers. There's just a lot of good like classic Imagine Dragons songs on there, because this is the one that came out after Night Visions, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it came out after.
Yeah, so it was
their second album.
Yeah, so it's a 2015 album. Yeah, so it's their second album, and they just had a lot of good ones on there, and they also had some like songs that they played for like movies and stuff, like
Can't Fight the Friction.
Like, well, that one was in a movie. That wasn't for a movie though.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. But like Battle Cry, that was for Transformers. Age
Who
of
We Are
Extinction.
was for Hunger Games Catching Fire, which is sick.
Yeah. I think that's actually it for those two. But
they're both that's such cool songs.
But a lot of cool songs in there for it. There's some songs that I used to like and I don't like as much anymore on here. But I found a lot of other ones recently that I'm really liking. It's a very it's kind of like Parachutes, but a little bit more like upbeat and more rocky, and other things. But I feel like it has no. I feel like it's a very similar feel though, because with the album art, it's yellow or it's like kind of orange and goldish, so it's got that very similar feel, but in a different mood. And the album art, Imagine Dragons album art, will always baffle me. I don't know what any of it means because it feels very symbolic.
Yeah.
But I unfortunately, and I don't think it's real, but I don't think Imagine Dragons has like a story behind it or anything like 21 Pilots.
Not that I know of.
Yeah, like not that we know of, but just like a lot of the stuff feels very symbolic. So for the album art of Smoke and Mirrors, it's two hands.
They're like
tied up by like a gold ribbon, and a bird is flying out of the hands. So it's like flying up, and then the hands are basically holding the Imagine Dragons, like the word
logo.
Yeah, the logo. And there's a lot of weird like sketches below the hands, which is kind of weird. So it's a really weird album art, but it's kind of cool. But I would definitely recommend that album. It's a sick album. A lot of good songs off there. My favorite Imagine Dragons song is on there.
Yeah.
Just really mellow and chill songs, and then really like upbeat songs and stuff. So
Battle Cry. That's a pretty mellow one.
That's not very.
See,
yeah, listen to that one, and I'm so sorry. They're very mellow.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, see, that one was in my honorable because I like a lot of the songs, but I like almost every song off of Night Visions.
Yeah.
But there's a couple songs on Smoke and Mirrors that aren't my favorite, but I like most of them.
I would agree.
So
that's
why.
That's the thing with like Smoke and Mirrors that's kind of the tough thing. If I did have to put them in order with these the albums, this one definitely would be on the bottom, just because not every song I like off of it is like not every song on there I like off of it, but the ones I like off there I really like. So,
yeah. That's just similar for me.
So, all right, well, I guess what's your last one?
My last one is, I feel like this one is out of all of them, it's probably one of the least known. It's Jars of Clay, The Long Fall Back to Earth. It's this is seriously like it. This one has a lot of high dose of nostalgia, like a lot of them. Almost all of them except for like two for mine. But it's very nostalgic, so it brought me back to it because of that. It was one of the albums that I listened to like growing up. Like there was a lot of albums that we would listen to on rotation in our Honda because that has CD player, and that's how we listen to music. So it'd load up six CDs, and it would basically listen to those six for like a couple weeks straight, and then we would swap like a couple of them out. But this is one of those that got put in there fairly often, and so part of it I just have nostalgia with like driving around in the car, because this album came out. I don't actually know. I gotta look it up. It came out like a good few years ago. And so I was fairly young at the time, so it was like before I got my driver's license, everything like that. Let's see, I'm gonna look it up so I actually know.
What's it called?
Jars of Clay. I got it. We got it right here. It was 2009. Wow.
Wow. I thought that was older,
so 2009. It's one of their newer albums. It's their technically like. Oh, I guess it's their third, the most recent. I don't know what I'm saying. No, but I really like it because it's like a mid 2000s. Like you can tell it's made in the mid 2000s, but it just sounds like it's very crisp and it just sounds good, like quality.
Yeah.
But also, just Jars of Clay themselves has a very unique sound to it. Especially this album. This album is just so like unique with different like synth sounds. Their drummer is really good, and so he's just got a lot of really cool things that he does, like the beats that he does, but also just different fills and stuff. Like I remember, like the open hi-hat sound that for a long. I remember hearing this and be like, "How do you do that? How you can't make that sound with the drum?" And now I know how to, so I thought that was cool. But he just has a lot of really cool, sometimes unpredictable drum beats that I like. It's not just like a really. They're not always super basic, and when they are, it works super well. But just as an album in general, it's just I don't know. It's just such a good it's just such a good album. Like the sound of it, it just sounds good. Um, but also, I mean, one of my favorite songs off of it's Two Hands. And basically like the premise or like kind of the message of the song is like the lines are I have like one hand to push you closer, or one hand to pull you closer and one hand to push you away. But if I had two hands doing the same thing, lifting you high. And that's like I mean, I feel like that's the Christian walk in general, but I mean, especially like I mean in my life too, especially of just that kind of idea of one hand trying to lift high the name of Jesus and the other one that I'm just doing stupid sinful things.
Yeah.
You know, but what would my life look like if I had both of my hands, you know, metaphorically doing the same thing, lifting you high? And so that song's always like resonated with me, especially more recently. But I've always really liked that song. And so that's just an amazing song. But then also the rest of them. Boys is such a good song. It's kind of a cool, like, it says Boys lesson 1. So it's like lesson 1. I don't remember the first one, but that's such a cool song. But yeah, the rest of them are just like, they're so much fun to play on the drums. And it's just such a good album, and has just a lot of like deep, like resonating songs with me at least. So, and it's not their most popular album. They also have a really good album, Good Monsters, which is 3 years earlier. But
yeah, that's a good one.
So those are my top 5. Those are our top 5 albums.
Yep.
Yeah. We do have a couple honorable mentions that are close, but just didn't quite make it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna run through mine really fast since I don't have a lot of things to say about them. The Search by NF. That's by my second. I love that album. Cities by Amberlynn. That's an amazing album. Tourist History by Two-Door Cinema Club. Also, I have 7 honorable mentions, so it could make it even 12 because I went to So, Tourist History by Two-Door Cinema Club. Volume 1 by The Becoming. Really fast on that. If anybody doesn't know who The Becoming are, don't feel bad because nobody does, I think, because they were a band. They released an album, but then they got like sued because their name was close to a different band's name. And so they basically, and they couldn't fight it or anything. So they lost pretty much everything. And the only place you can find their one album is on YouTube. And it's called Volume 1. And it's so, like, I love it. It's like it's like a Christian emo rock band, but I love it. And it's so good. But yeah, I can only listen on YouTube, and so it's just really sad. I wish they're still making music, but I don't think they are, sad, unfortunately. Where You Are by Throttle. That
was my albums.
Yeah, that album is so good.
It's a really good album.
These are all very different, from punk or like emo rock band to like electronic EDM.
That's what The Way You Are is, by the way.
Yeah,
nobody knows.
Smoke and Mirrors by Imagine Dragons.
Yep.
And then Scaled and Icy by 21 Pilots.
Yeah, I was gonna. I don't have Scaled and Icy on my honorable mentions, but I might put it up there just 'cause I like it. It's not like my favorite, but I do like it more than some of the earlier stuff. It just kind of depends on the songs, but I do like Scaled and Icy.
When it first came out, like,
it was pretty good.
I liked it.
I think I just over-listened it.
I think some of that was what it was for me. Like, for a while, I was like, yeah, it's okay. But every time I hear a song now, it's just like a song. Like, I really do like it. It's just like an upbeat, like good sounding album.
Yeah. And
I remember when I was listening to it, I was just playing. It was like it was in the summer, so I didn't have school. I was playing Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare, listening to this album. So it was just, it was like a perfect moment. It was so nice.
Yeah, it came out 2 years ago too, so it's not really nostalgic, but there's some good memories to it. So, okay, so with my honorable mentions, I have How to Save a Life by The Fray.
How to Save a Life.
A lot of their popular songs are off that one. I think it's a 2013 album. I don't know. It's a very good one. That's the one with a light bulb on it. But How to Save a Life. They also have a song called How to Save a Life, but the album's called that.
2005.
Oh no, I was really wrong.
Well, say it's not 2013.
What's the 2013? I don't know. I saw one that was 2013. All right, 2005. Wow, really wrong.
Scars and Stories of 2012, and Helios is 2014. So they don't have a 2013 album.
Might be thinking of a different one.
Yeah, you're embarrassed.
No, so How to Save a Life by The Fray. Blue album by Weezer, or it's not
Blue.
It's the album itself is called Weezer, but Weezer fans call it just the Blue Album because it's got the blue background, and that one is partially nostalgic and / also like that's when my musically awakening was going on. Was when I was listening to more Nirvana, I started listening to more Weezer because I already knew one of their songs. What's going on over there?
I accidentally hit play. I was like, "What is that sound?" It's my phone.
So the Blue Album by Weezer, that's a good one. A bunch of bangers in there.
Yep.
In Rainbows by Radiohead, also another good one. I was actually kind of torn to either put that or OK Computer. Is that what it's called?
OK Computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. By Radiohead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's OK Computer.
That. Yeah. So sorry. Yeah, I was gonna say Paranoid Android, but that's a song. I was torn between In Rainbows or OK Computer. I like more overall songs from OK Computer, but I'm starting to like more songs from In Rainbows, and I really like the songs from In Rainbows. So I just decided to put In Rainbows by Radiohead. My next one, Make Yourself by Incubus. That's the one that Drive is off of. That is their, oh my gosh, I don't know, like 1999 album.
Shout out to everybody in 1999.
Yeah, 1999, Make Yourself, yeah. So that's a sick album, bunch of good bangers on there. That one's more hard rock than Morning View, so Morning View is kind of it's actually its own thing. There's not a lot of Incubus songs that are like the album, so. And then my last one was Night Visions, Imagine Dragons. So really like Night Visions.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, not in order for any of these, just on my list. But yeah, so Night Visions, Deluxe too. Because there's a lot of good ones.
Celine.
Deluxe, yeah. So don't want to miss that one. Celine's such a good one.
Yeah. Well, that's what we had today for today, guys.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I don't know if any of these are surprising or interesting. If you've never heard of any of these, go check them out. And if you have, well, hopefully you like them.
Hopefully you agree with us.
Or else.
Our reasonings for them, or else.
We
may have an issue.
But we thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening in again. If you guys find any weird, crazy cereals that you want us to try, or you have any interesting, funny topics you think you would like to hear us talk about, let us know. Comment on our Instagram or something like that. And we would love to do that. Riley, you have any final words for the listeners today?
No, not really. Just thank you guys for listening to our little banter and talking about the music we enjoy. Hope you guys enjoyed it. So.
Yep. Tune in again next week, and we hope you guys have an amazing week, an amazing day, and
an amazing
life. Yes. I was going to say breakfast.
And an amazing breakfast.
So have a great time, and we'll see you next week on Cereal Saturday.
Bye-bye.